Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Danganronpa. So last time on Danganronpa, what did happen last time? Oh, right, the whole Mukuro Ikusawa trial to figure out who killed her, and then there was two executions. There was one that was like the bad ending with Kyoko dying and everybody impregnating Aoi, and then the other thing, which is the one we're in right now, which is the correct one, I guess, which is where we let Kyoko lie and we got executed, air quotations, because Alter Ego came in and saved us right before we got crushed. So now we're doing this. So I'm going to only upload Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc until I beat it. Then I'm going to upload only White Day until I beat that. Then I'm going to start two brand new playthroughs. One is going to be Danganronpa, I think it's called like Goodbye to Despair or something like that. And then I'm going to also have like some other horror or something else. So let's go ahead and get started. Another reason that I'm not I would just keep up with the every other day thing, or the every other video, like White Day, Danganronpa, but it's also like 3 a.m. right now and I just don't feel like playing a horror game. So let's go ahead and continue with this. The massive high school towers over all the other areas in this bustling urban area. It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. Hope's Peak Academy. It brings in wait, isn't this the beginning of the game? Hold up, I did do the right one, right? Yeah, they're still dead. Alright. I guess they're like... It brings in top students from every field imaginable, a government-funded school of privilege. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. With hundreds of years of traditions, it sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future, which makes Hope's Peak a pretty fitting name. Yeah, I remember this all from the prologue. There are two things you need to attend the school. One, you have to be attending high school. Two, you have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student could be enrolled here. The only way is if you're scouted by the school itself. And standing there at the gate of the ultimate school with ultimate students was me. The freak. Okay, now we're skipping to this part. What? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing here asleep just now? It wasn't any classroom I've ever been in before. What the heck's going on? What the... It's the rocket from the beginning cutscene! Finally. I could finally feel my mind and body starting to come back together again, and then I was awake. Or was this just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare? No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading the nostrils was too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell. I was in a vast dark cavern with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled high all across the area. This must be some kind of underground garbage pit. A heck of a situation to find myself in. But that was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck here until the day I died? No, I can't let that happen. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. I remembered all too well what had happened. Alter Ego saved me. And he used up the last bit of his strength to do it. So I can't give up now. For myself and for my friend. With that, my pursuit of survival began. First up was to start looking for a way out of here. Well, there's a big... Great, it's locked. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked, it didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't going to be that easy. Well, if I'm not going to get out of here anytime soon, I decided to look around for some food. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. But that was pointless too. Next, I searched for some water. How how can I be sure which liquids I can drink? And which ones are all around bad idea? Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in on all sides. But that's still not enough to that's still not enough reason to give up because I'm still alive. And as long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think I passed out at least a full day. And all I did was sleep and sleep. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign, not exactly. The freak? What the? The strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. As I watched the pile of garbage jostle and form with an odd shape. Did something fall down over there? Something fell from up above? What could it have been? I don't know. Why don't you check? Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? I carefully stretched out my hand toward whatever it was that had tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
Kyoko! Hey! Kyoko! A giant piece of trash. Rude. Before she even emerged from the pile, I knew who it was.
It smells awful.
Oh my gosh. You got a cup of noodles on your head. Baby. Ah! Kyoko?
Indeed.
You look like you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here?
So...
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you. I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You got a bit of garbage in your hair. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, and then faced me again.
Hey.
First, I have something for you. Yo! Go ahead and eat it. We can talk when you're finished. Thank you. I snatched the bread and water she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth and was making its way toward my stomach. Phew, that really hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going. So, you still haven't given up then, huh? Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at. Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at. Yeah. But, Kyoko, why'd you come to rescue me?
So...
To pay a debt. Or, no, to atone. Atone?
You...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. Well, actually, about that. So, you knew that I knew.
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. I abandoned you. Don't say that. You didn't abandon me. No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
But, listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there was a reason that I had to survive, no matter the cost. Why did you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to
In
survive
other words,
is so that I can do what I came to the school to do. What? I made up my mind to come to Hope Speak for a very important reason. So, you have a reason for coming to Hope
Indeed.
Speak? That's right. At least, I did once. Once. Until recently, I'd forgotten what it was. You forgot, but that's... I had no memory of what my purpose was. No memory? That's impossible.
Huh? Amnesia?
Then, is it really true? You lost your memory?
Makoto.
Do you remember, Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at the school? The first thing... You're talking about when we all fainted, right? I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here. I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself. A disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point, my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to the school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would make you forget all that?
Hey.
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. Are you saying that you think you lost your memory because...
Indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory. But why would they do that? There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability, somehow they knew that would interfere with their plans. So the mastermind just stole them from you?
However,
And it could also mean somehow my memories might be connected to the mystery of this school and the mastermind, which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. But if what you said is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
why is that?
If I did that and we all worked together as one, the mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always the chance that the mastermind is actually one of us. What?
Correct.
Well, don't make too big of a deal out of it. It's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? The mastermind, one of us. If she believed that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone. In that case, it would make sense that she would go into her missing memory by herself.
However,
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. But why me? Because among everyone, you were least likely to be the mastermind. That was just intuition, but... I see. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could be the mastermind.
I understand.
The freak?
I should understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
It's just like that dream I had before, but... Why did that just happen?
listen.
Are you okay? Oh, yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey,
Even now, I still trust you, you know? It's just, I'm not used to relying on others.
correct.
I know I never asked you to help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality. You said you had a reason for doing all that investigating on your own. So, how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So,
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability. You mentioned your ability. My ability. What everyone should have known me for. I'm the ultimate detective. Well, I want to say that I'm shocked, but it's kind of obvious. You were the main one poking around at everybody's body, so... Yeah. The ultimate detective?
Correct.
And the reason I came here, there was someone I had to find here. Who? You had to find someone. Who?
so,
Well, it was the headmaster. The headmaster? Why did you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father? Huh? What?
in other words,
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Kyoko's dad? Is Hope's Peak headmaster? Then that explains... When Alter Egos told us he thought the headmaster was involved. Yeah, Kyoko said she didn't believe him. No matter what it takes. Oh, I'll
No
find the
matter
headmaster
what?
no matter the cost.
So,
Kyoko, what's going on? My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. I mean, that makes sense.
however,
But listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear, so there's no misunderstanding. I said that the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I felt based on what I'd seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. Then, what did you see in there?
so,
The room had been ransacked. The shelves were a mess. The desk drawers jumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything had been in there... Oh, someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. You mean the mastermind, right?
it's true.
That was my assumption, yes. And to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. Is this some kind of map?
Indeed.
It's a layout of the entirety of Hope's Peak. I found it in the headmaster's room along with Mukuro's profile and that key. The map showed us that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time, and I figured that the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if it were true, that room would most likely hold more clues, so I went to check.
Correct.
And that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there?
However,
But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. So, what was it like? That part of the school, I mean. It's hard to describe, is all I can say. The moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in the school is more horrific than we ever imagined. What do you mean?
So...
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself, and I'm sure you'll get a chance. It sounds like it must be important, and really ominous. Oh my gosh.
However...
Come on. Okay, here we go. Which is why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. It has to do with the Mukuro Ikusaba, doesn't it?
However...
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi, so then who did kill her?
Anyway...
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mukuro Ikusaba was to get me killed. Get you killed?
Indeed.
I stole that key and disappeared, and in retaliation, they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial. It was? The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of the school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly. Within minimal restrictions, you are free to explore Host Peak Academy.
In other words...
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules? That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is somehow bound by the school regulations.
Hey,
There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba. What's that? There was a point where Mukuro may have not become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto. Oh, when she protected me in my room. I could have become the victim?
indeed.
God, I had the hiccups, great. You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you mean... Yep, when the killer tried to kill me. During the night? I can hear them, you know? The footsteps of the god of death. What? I can hear the god of death as he moves. That ability naturally draws me to cases.
Anyway...
Which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell and I saw a white shadow across the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room. Oh my
Correct.
God. I ran into your room and that's when I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However...
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to... Whoever the masked assailant was, they ended up dead.
Correct.
And their murder was disguised, and the dojo key wound up in my room. It all has to be the work of the mastermind, in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. So all this would mean that whoever killed Mukuro is also the mastermind, right?
Indeed.
I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. But that's really bad if it is true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever they feel like. Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class trial to kill you because they couldn't interfere.
Correct.
You're right, that is a contradiction. And it's not just Mukuro. They needed the class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. So what does that all mean?
In other words,
It means the mastermind is the one who's been cornered. Huh?
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more and I should be able to figure out who the mastermind is. The identity of the other Ultimate Despair. The other Ultimate Despair? There's no doubt the Mukuro was the Ultimate Despair and that she's dead. But I don't think the Ultimate Despair is one person. It's not?
Indeed.
If you think about it, the Ultimate Despair seems to implicate whoever caused the event. You're talking
That's
about
right.
what happened a year ago. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy. Whoever's responsible for that, they're the Ultimate
It
Despair.
would seem...
That despicable group, whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair, then
Indeed.
they're... Make no mistake, make no mistake. They're the root of all evil that forced us to go through this. That is the Ultimate Despair. And that is our real enemy. Chapter 5. End. To be continued. The Dream Island Rocket, huh? Wonder why we got that for this chapter. Yep, let's save. 5 alive. Wait, what? Is there only 5 of us? I thought it just said 6. Hold up. Aoi, Yasuhiro, Toko, Byakuya, me, Kyoko. Wait, what? Aoi, Yasuhiro, Byakuya, Toko, me, and Kyoko. Maybe it doesn't count me, I don't know. The Ultimate Despair. A group of people who caused the tragedy 1 year ago? Those same people put together the killing game and began broadcasting it into to the... Wow, that hurt. The entire world? The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the Mastermind's true identity? Our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now, we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest can come after. Yeah, you're right. Can we go now? Kyoko, do you still have that one thing? Monokuma's secret tool?
Indeed.
Of course I do. It's an absolutely vital part of ensnaring the mastermind. I would never part with it. And it can open any door in the school, right?
That's right.
That's right. Then we should be able to use it on that door, right? I don't know, let's go. Oh, yeah. Alright. Kyoko, hey Kyoko, can we use that key of yours to open this door?
It's true.
Let's find out. Kyoko took the key out with the Monokuma design and slid it into the keyhole. And then... Alright. Yes, it opened!
Indeed.
And now we can get out of here. Let's go. Sounds good to me. We quickly opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit. Finally. We were finally free. But there wasn't even enough time to take a breather of relief. Because the real fight had just begun. Chapter 6. Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, ultimate death. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if this is the final chapter. Because there's like everybody there. This is like the final stand. This could be the final chapter. If so, I might have to stay up even later and just finish the game. I don't know, maybe. No, I'll just wait until tomorrow. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extended straight upwards. There was a metal ladder leading up into the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. We gotta up the skirt shot. Yes. The ladder was impossibly long. I couldn't even see where it ended. we climbed into darkness. The passageway was so dark and cramped, I couldn't even see my own feet. I had no idea we were down so far. Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful. But now that you said that, I'm kind of getting nervous. Maybe talking will keep my mind off of it. So, Kyoko, there's something I want to ask you. You said that you're the ultimate detective, right? So how long have you been doing detective work? How long?
So...
Ever since I can remember. I come from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time being detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. Then, is your family famous?
Wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. Huh? But how come? It's like your family tradition, right? So...
Right.
Because we take pride in it. Pride?
Indeed.
A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society. Which is why we've made a conscious effort to conceal our existence. A conscious effort.
It's true.
It's kind of an old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational, but it's our family creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Because like I said, it's our source of pride. Pride. So that explains... Before I came here, when I was looking up everybody, I didn't see anything on her. That's because she was hiding herself to protect her family.
However...
And yet... I gave up some of that pride. I swear to God with these freaking hiccups, dude. Huh? In order to enter Host Peak... Oh my gosh. In order to enter Host Peak Academy, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. But the reason you gave up that pride... The reason you would go so far to enter Host Peak... It was because that's how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that.
What?
Reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. Huh? But you'd be reunited with him after all these years, right? You would have had so much to talk about.
Wrong.
There's nothing I wanted to talk to my father about.
However...
There is something I wanted to say to him, though. What? No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. What is it?
So...
I want to sever all ties with him. Sever? The last time I saw him, I was still very young, so I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented. He had a promising future.
However...
But he had no interest in detective work, so he cut himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died, and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather, and they had a huge argument. As young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
Right.
If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I'd gone with him, I never would have had the chance to become a detective. I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see I wasn't able to see her expression. So I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that, what she might have been feeling. All I could tell is that compared to her usual self, she was more talkative and more emotional.
I
don't blame him, you know. He had his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say,
However...
right? But it's not true. There's one thing I would never forgive. Really?
So...
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind. Like I said, I thought it was a good thing.
However...
When the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as a little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me even to this day. His shadow's been following me my entire life, and I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow.
Correct.
That's why I have to find him and tell him we're no longer family. In order to settle the past. In order to remove him from my life forever. I have no doubt he forgot about me. But your family, just to cut him off like that. Can I just say how freaking long this ladder is? Like, goddamn.
Wrong.
Our only connection is through blood. Nothing more. Are we connected by heart and soul?
Hey.
No. Is blood really enough to call someone family? Only connected by blood, not by heart or soul. I was so shocked to hear her say something like that. I didn't even know how to respond. So instead, I didn't say anything. Are we there? Are we done? I just kept climbing the ladder in silence. And after I don't even know how long, we finally reached the top. Thank you, for the love of God. Oh my fucking... Looks like this is
Indeed.
it. On the other side of this door, Hope's Peak is waiting for us. We're back.
That's right.
Remember that hatch on the ground near the trash room? I'm fairly certain that's where we'll come out. I unlocked it earlier, so it should open without much trouble. Well, here's goes nothing. I reached my right hand up and pushed against the hatch. The hatch opened with ease, and so... Of course. Looks like we're back. But I can't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted having to talk that much. Dang, freaking A. I can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of there. Now we're back in Hope's Peak. Kyoko, thank you. I never would have gotten out of there without you. No thanks necessary. I was just returning the favor. So, now what do we do? I'm glad I didn't die, of course, but if the Mastermind finds out, I'm worried about you, too. You helped me, so they might...
Listen.
You're worried? Yeah, of course.
So then,
Let's just get a concrete answer. Huh?
in other words,
Let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping. Wait, that's...
however,
If we try to hide, it's only a matter of time till we're found out. And it's not like we can run away. As she said that, she pointed to the nearby surveillance camera. So you're saying rather than stressing out over getting caught, we should just give up now? Don't worry, what you think's going to happen isn't.
because
Because the Mastermind is the one that's ensnared. The Mastermind is ensnared? You said something like that before, but what does it mean?
so
The Mastermind stood exposed during the investigation. There was a moment where the Mastermind let their guard down. There was?
right.
If we can talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it. And it would be better for us if we just go directly to him before he tracks us down. That should help us with our negotiations. I'm still a little, super uneasy about this. But we don't really have a choice, do we?
Indeed.
Monokuma should be in the gym.
Shall we go?
Let's get going. Oh man, it feels so good to be back. Even though we weren't really gone for that long, so... Anyways.
Well now.
I say I'm way more tired than I thought I would be, but we're gonna do this. Hey! Kyoko, I don't mind so much. But Makoto's supposed to be dead. What's he doing here? That's exactly how I thought he'd react. Are we really gonna be okay? You were supposed to be punished. Did Kyoko help you?
What?
So what if I did? What will you do? If the guilty party is exposed during the class trial, they alone will be executed. It's unfortunate, but that is a rule. So now I gotta punish you again. And this time I won't leave anything to chance. Kyoko,
Right.
do whatever you feel you have to. What?
However,
But before you do, let me just say one thing.
now,
If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that that matters to you, right? Huh? I lose?
Hey!
You explain yourself. What do you mean by that?
because
Well, you set up this latest class trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted to use an excuse to kill me.
In other words,
I was supposed to be chosen as the Blacken and then executed, right? Hey, what are you talking about?
however,
But then, Makoto chose to overlook my lie. Your plan came crashing down. The results of the trial weren't what you expected at all. Because you never imagined in that position, one person would protect another like that.
right,
In response to that unexpected development,
indeed.
you reacted by proclaiming Makoto the Blacken was the Blacken and tried to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation, no more than that. You must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well.
However,
But then there was another unexpected development waiting for you. I've been talking in Makoto's voice this whole time. An entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your precious execution machinery. Alter ego. You never imagined the possibility of that being could come to our aid even after you kill him.
am I wrong?
Now, here's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Mukuro. You did.
Listen to me.
So executing Makoto for it would surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. If the Blacken is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right? And that means I lose? You talk a big game. You're saying the Blacken is me and not Makoto?
Well?
And you can prove this is right?
Well,
No, I can't. Don't just say it like that. What is this, a comedy routine? To make such bold claims without a shred of evidence.
that doesn't matter.
I don't have any right now, but with a little more time, I guarantee you I'll find some.
That's right.
Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there is only one ever absolute truth. And now you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type.
Because,
If Makoto really was the killer, he never would have come to you this willingly like this. He would have feared for his life, feared another execution. He would have tried to run and hide. He would have been gripped by the despair you love to inspire.
however,
But here we are, confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts.
What the heck?
And that's supposed to be enough to convince me in the absence of evidence?
indeed.
It's not you I'm trying to convince.
Hey,
If you were to execute Makoto now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased. Huh?
indeed.
Imagine what everyone would think if you killed Makoto. They would assume that you killed him because what we said exactly is right. Or what we said is exactly right.
Listen to me.
Despair can never kill hope.
Hey,
Of course, you can say that we're making this all up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. If you want to earn our despair fair and
that's
square,
what we have to do.
then I suggest you take my advice. So, what is this advice of yours?
It's true.
Do Mukuro's trial over again. Only this time, you follow the school regulations to ensure a fair trial.
It's time for one last showdown. One final battle between hope and despair.
Oh yeah, this is the last one, man.
Hey,
Well, that would make for a proper climax, wouldn't it, you say? A fair trial. One last showdown. In other words, this will be our chance to expose the true identity of Mukuro's killer, or the mastermind himself. But what reason would the mastermind have to accept the challenge? They'll probably just execute me without another word. Interesting.
Barrett!
Very interesting indeed. Barry.
What's wrong?
Oh, I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little. So time for bear jokes. Now, what you suggested might be plausible. It might certainly make for one honey of a climax.
in other words,
Does that mean you accept?
You guys!
If we do things your way, that'll be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? And it would cause you unbearable despair, right? Then I'm prepared to agree to your terms. Will your hope win, or will my despair claim victory?
I can barely contain
Let's have one
myself!
final grisly showdown. He agreed. Then we still have a shot at this.
Barrett!
But this is the long-awaited climax, right? Just guessing the killer is barely a fitting
You
end.
guys!
So then, for this final face-off, you'll have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here. All the mysteries? That's right. Every last mystery that's pawing around the school. If you can do that,
I can barely
then that'll be
contain
enough
myself!
to qualify as a victory for you.
It's true.
That's what we've been trying to do all along. Okay, well good. Then let's bear it all. If you can claw your way to the truth of Mukuro's death and solve the mysteries of the school,
You guys!
then you win. But if you can't do all that, we'll all face execution, right? I can barely contain my excitement. When you learn the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show me? We're excited as you are, I'm sure.
Listen to me.
When we are uncovered every last truth, how will the ultimate despair reveal their own despair? I honestly can't believe this is how it turned out.
Hey,
But before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when a class trial is held.
What's wrong?
I remember that. For sure. So what?
hey,
I just wanted to confirm. That is what you said, right? And it is a true statement. You don't have to be so suspicious. I've said it before, but it bears repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations, and having a trial for Mukuro is no exception to that. Huh? Mukuro's trial is no exception. That it is part of the regulations, which would mean whoever killed Mukuro is a very polarizing approach. I know, but okay, enough with the puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I've already told you this, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in here are those 16 students. What?
listen.
Are you telling the truth? No. No. That means one of us is the mastermind? Why'd he go quiet all of a sudden?
Now I'm
done talking.
really
I've got
angry.
nothing left to say to you. So get lost, would you? Why so mad? He seems emotionally unstable.
Hey!
Leave me alone. Get out of here. Okay, I'm going. Just... You really gonna let me go? I don't care anymore. You're all gonna get your punishment later anyways. I need to start getting ready. A super duper extra special appointment. Overflowing with despair.
Hey,
Come on, Makoto. Let's go. Okay. Jesus. Monokuma's unstable laughter seemed to cling to us as we walked away. And just like that, we were out of the gym. I could hardly believe it, but somehow I ended up not getting executed. I still had my life, and we still had a chance. Overall, things turned out way better than I expected. Once again, I was in Kyoko's debt. Kyoko, thank you. Everything I have right now is because of you.
however,
Don't thank me just yet. The real battle is still ahead of us. Yeah, true. But still, I'm glad it worked out. I wasn't sure if the enemy would accept my proposal. But honestly, why wouldn't the mastermind agree? Or why would the mastermind agree to that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from a final showdown, do they?
so,
They had no choice but to accept. Huh?
because,
It's all because of that one moment that the mastermind let their guard down, like I said. And you said something about that. So when was it the mastermind let their guard down?
so,
I wasn't there to hear it myself. Do you remember what the mastermind said? They said that they had hijacked the airwaves to broadcast our school life to the outside world, right? Yeah, they definitely said that.
listen.
And what do you think when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right? Well, I mean, the idea of actually taking over the airwaves seems so unbelievable.
Indeed.
You don't exactly read about that somewhere like this happens often, so it's hard to imagine. In other words, this kind of thing is extremely difficult to pull off.
However,
And yet, somehow the mastermind was able to do it.
in other words,
But think of it another way. There must have been some reason they had to do something so that difficult. A reason.
so,
They had to show the world something, no matter the cost of us killing each other. They wanted to show the
it
world.
would
The
seem,
mastermind has been very adamant about not killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. And all the rules and regulations were designed to encourage that. Yeah, that makes sense. If those stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would have killed anybody.
In other words,
So the Mastermind's ultimate goal was to make us kill each other and show that off to the world. But why?
correct.
To prove a point, most likely. Prove a point?
Hey,
The outside world has a name for students of Hope's Peak, right? A certain concept. You're talking about hope, right?
that's right.
And for those of us who represent hope to kill each other and sink into despair, the Mastermind wants the world to see that, to try and prove that despair is better than hope. That's their goal as the ultimate despair. What? They want to prove that despair is better than hope? But that's ridiculous.
It's true.
You're right. It is ridiculous, completely irrational. It's the kind of thing that nobody but those who call themselves the ultimate despair would devise. That group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. But is that really their only reason for making us suffer?
Makoto.
I know how angry it must make you, and yet, that same motivation is what led to the Mastermind revealing their weakness.
In
What?
other words,
Because of their goal to broadcast the entire killing game to the world, the Mastermind had to be more particular than is reasonable about their own regulations. If the Mastermind simply ignored their rules, this wouldn't have been a game, but a one-sided slaughter.
at the very least,
At least, that's how those who were watching this would have seen it. God, so much talking.
indeed.
And that's why the Mastermind couldn't kill any of us themselves? That is precisely the reason. No matter how much time they may hate what I'm doing, haven't violated. Juko broke the rules, so she was punished. But in my case, they couldn't lay a finger on me.
Right.
So instead, they tried to use the class trial following all their proper rules to get me killed. They began a class trial that didn't have a right answer. Then they made me out to be the killer. But even that didn't work.
It's true.
Yes, thanks to you. And due to that failure, the Mastermind took yet another risk. They attempted to kill you instead of me, who was also not the killer. And with that fact was exposed, the Mastermind had to accept your suggestion.
Indeed.
To prove to the world that despair is better than hope, they have to defeat us in perfect form.
In other words,
It would only do the Mastermind harm to have shown that they had violated against their own regulations. But all that was a hunch, right? And you were still able to get the Mastermind to accept your challenge.
however,
Well, it's only thanks to you that we even got that chance, because you believed in me. Another path opened up. Still, I can't believe how much of the Mastermind's thoughts and plans you were able to figure out. I didn't have the slightest clue.
wrong.
In the end, though, I couldn't prove any of it. It was just my reasoning, essentially, I was making a bet. But it looks like I got it right this time. At least I won that bet. She let out a quick sigh and took out a small sign of relief. I took it as a small sign of relief. To be honest, I haven't been that nervous in a long time. I totally couldn't tell you were nervous at all. You seemed totally confident from the moment we decided to go talk to him. Well, presenting a strong demeanor is a fundamental part of negotiation and persuasion, when you say. Plus, if I'd showed my uneasiness, that would have just made you more uneasy. Yeah, you're probably right. How pathetic.
However,
Anyway, we can't relax just yet. All we've done is earn another chance to fight. We have to win this time.
correct.
Or everything we've just gone through will be for nothing. You're right. If we can't defeat the Mastermind, it'll cost our lives. The only option is to win.
Hey,
Before we do the final battle, we have to tell the others what's going on. True, but now we know who our enemy is. All we have to do is work together with everyone to destroy the Mastermind. Work together with everyone.
however,
Is that really possible? Huh?
anyway,
Right now we have to go
Shall
find the
we go?
others. They're probably in the dorms somewhere. Shall we go? I'm just gonna look it up where they are. But they're not in the dorms. Now come I can't check any other. Why can I only check the first floor? Do I really have to just go check everywhere? About to go check their dorm rooms. Look, yo. This is Byakuya's room. Is he inside?
Hey,
I don't think he's here. Come on, we need to keep looking. Okay, is Toko here? This is Toko's room. Is she inside?
hey,
I don't think she's here. Okay, what about Aoi?
hey,
No? So they're not here. So, are they in the dining hall? Like we always go? And suddenly, we were greeted with... the freak? You again. Is he broken?
whew.
I suppose his emotional instability reached its limits. Jeez, what the heck?
However,
I wonder what that was all about. I couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief. Yay!
Makoto?
Oh man, now I wish I could use this as my freaking thumbnail. Look at Aoi running to me. Oh my gosh. Byakuya, look at I see you, Byakuya. I see you smirking a little bit. I see you happy to see me, bro. Yasuhiro was like, oh no, it's another guest. Even Toko's kind of happy. Okay. I was like, baby, you're still alive. Is that Makoto?
You guys!
It is! There's no two ways about it. That's Makoto.
You survived?
Jeez, you're like a stubborn little cockroach, you know that?
I'm just asking to make sure, but
Oh my god, I
you're
knew
not
it.
a ghost,
Look
right?
at this dude. Everyone was all there. All my friends who'd struggled together and survived. As soon as I saw their faces, I couldn't help myself. I started to tear up.
What?
Wait, what's that smell?
What the heck?
Yeah, man, that seriously stinks. It's Makoto. He smells like a wet hot dog. Oh, sorry, a wet dong. Get away. Shoo. And in a flash, my tears dried up. We gotta talk to everyone.
Yo,
Makoto, what was it like hanging out in the spirit world? I didn't go to the spirit
you
world.
know?
Did you get to talk to her? Who? Miss Clea. No, I didn't talk to her. I mean, I didn't go to the spirit world. I mean, who the heck is Miss Cleo? I still can't believe you survived. Yeah, me either. Do you realize why it is you escaped execution? It was alter ego. He saved my life.
That's right.
Not too many people can say they had their lives saved by a computer program. I imagine it wasn't a learning experience for you. Baby! Oh, bruh. Baby! So, what have you guys been doing while I was gone? Well, we figured since the trial was over, we'd have access to new places again. And? No dice. All the rooms that were locked before are still locked. So there aren't any new areas. Then where can we go to find new clues? You sting. Are you rotten?
I'm telling
Rotten.
you!
Physically, mentally, every way you can be rotten. Sorry, I was rolling around in garbage for a while. This smell is so smelly. Oh, super smelly. You smell even worse than me. Way worse than me. I win. She seems happy for some reason. Yeah, she's weird like that.
Makoto,
There's no time to indulge in an extended happy reunion. We need to explain to everyone what happened with Monokuma.
Yes.
Explain what? But is it okay that you're here? What if the mastermind catches you?
it's true.
That's related to what I have to tell you. I need to tell you all about the last class trial. Last class trial?
In other words,
We're going, I keep doing that voice for her, what the heck? We're going to redo Mikuro's trial.
Huh?
What? Seriously?
How about that?
What's the point of redoing it? Makoto killed her, right? No, I didn't do it. I keep telling you that.
wrong.
Makoto isn't the killer. And of course it's not me or any of you. Then, who is it?
I see.
What she's saying is, it was all the work of the mastermind.
Huh?
What? You're saying the mastermind killed Mikuro?
That's right.
That's right. It was all an elaborate trap contrived by the mastermind. Makoto spotted the trap in time and did what he had to stop
However,
it. But his decision meant that he would be the one to die.
What did you say?
You spotted the trap, did you, Makoto? You make it sound like it was easy. I just,
however,
But executing Makoto, who wasn't the Blackened, is a clear violation of the school regulations. The rule states that only the Blackened is to be executed. Mastermind broke their own rule, which is why I went and negotiated with them to have the trial one more time.
Huh?
And the Mastermind agrees? Does that really mean they did break the rules? They had no choice but to agree. You used the TV broadcast to gain the leverage you needed, didn't you?
correct.
Very observant of you.
Naturally.
I recall what you said at the end of the last trial. When you said, now it's the mastermind that's ensnared, that's what you were referring to.
Don't be mean.
Hey, I'm totally in the dark here. For anyone who doesn't understand, you can ask Kyoko to explain it again later. So, knowing all this, what do we do now?
About that.
It's about who killed Mikuro, right? So our job is to expose the mastermind. But there's more to it than that, correct? Yeah. For us to win this time, we have to solve every mystery in this whole school. Every mystery? But we've been looking around this whole time. We still don't know anything, right?
Anyway,
You probably guessed it already. But if we lose this time, everyone dies.
Oh no!
Everyone?
I hate you.
Hey, who said you get to agree to those terms without talking to the rest of us? I'm fine with things the way they are. I'm fine with living here forever with Master. I, meanwhile, want to get out of here as soon as humanly possible.
anyway,
At this point, the only way for us to survive is to unravel the mystery.
Interesting.
In other words, one decisive final battle, a rather interesting development, I'd say. But figuring out who the mastermind is and how they killed Mukuro and all the school's mysteries, it's a pretty tall freaking order. Maybe, but this time the trial is different. We know who our enemy is. So if we work together and search as hard as we can, I'm sure we'll solve all the mysteries. I'm not so sure about that. Huh? I can't agree with the idea of working together with everyone. Yeah, because one of us is the mastermind. You can't agree? Why not? I mean, working together with everyone seems like the most obvious way to solve all the mysteries.
indeed.
That's what I thought too, at first. Until Monokuma gave us that little hint of his. Hint? Yep. Yeah, it's very yes to all of them.
I see.
Monokuma said that, did he? Then Kyoko's opinion is perfectly reasonable. Huh? But why?
So, in other words...
If the mastermind really is the one who killed Mukuro, as Kyoko says, then the mastermind would have had to set foot in the school. Monokuma could probably murder Mukuro, but there's no way he could have disguised the scene like that.
In other words...
But according to Monokuma, the only people who set foot are the 16 students who have been taking part in the killing game. Then the mastermind is... There was 15 of us in the main hall. Add in Mukuro and you get 16. Well, mastermind would have to be one of them.
That's right.
And of those 16 people we started out with, the only ones still alive are the people standing right here. Need I continue, or do you get it now?
What?
You're saying the mastermind is one of us?
No way.
You can't be serious. Oh wait, that's the wrong way. You can't be serious. Wait, we can't say that for sure yet. Monokuma might have just said that confused
Indeed.
us. It is certainly a possibility, but only among many. The mastermind being one of us is also a possibility. Now, here's where I want to insert the possibility that Mukuro is still alive. Now, I don't really understand Junko's hand having that tattoo on it, but I do know that those nails were... Sorry about that. We hit the 1 hour mark, so it cut off my recording. Continuing on to what I was saying. Now, I don't understand why Junko's hand had that tattoo on it, but I'm pretty sure those were Junko's nails. So I'm confused about that part, but I do think that Mukuro is still alive, because that definitely was Junko's body. Maybe they somehow like made the tattoo, but I don't know. We're gonna see that in a second. But I'm gonna record until it says like investigation or explore, whatever we need to do. Then I'm gonna stop, upload this. We're gonna do a whole video on the investigation, and then no matter how long it is, we're gonna do one video of the class trial. The final class trial. So, let's continue. And that is one possibility we can't ignore. Yeah, I mean, they're in ultimate, right? The ultimate despair, so they must be a high schooler. You can't say it's not possible. But if one of us was the mastermind, they'd have to be controlling Monokuma somehow, right? But did you ever see anyone acting sus anytime Monokuma was active?
Well,
Maybe they snuck off and controlled him in secret.
but
I don't care how sneaky you are. We would have noticed someone sneaking off that many times.
I'm right?
Then maybe Monokuma was on autopilot. Maybe they loaded up all the dialogue and actions beforehand. In that case, there's no way he could have had all this back and forth with us. Well, it would have been entirely impossible if it wouldn't be entirely impossible if they directed the flow of the conversation. Well, maybe, but still. Huh?
This is a school announcement. You've all probably figured this out by now, but at this point, the killing game has now entered true ending mode.
Ooh, true ending.
So, in the name of fairness, I will unlock every room in the school.
Yo, goated.
Look wherever you want. Solve the mystery in whatever way you see fit.
Yo, this next
Then we can
episode-
all meet up at the class trial, okay?
Bro, this next episode is about to be fire. Bro. How very magnanimous of him to unlock all the rooms.
That's fine.
The time for talk is done. Now we need to begin our investigation. But I was planning on working alone from the beginning anyways.
In the name of my family.
At this point, I can rely on only myself, only the Tokami blood flowing through my veins. I have no time to worry about the rest of you. Each of you must uphold your own responsibility. Well then, after making his final statement, Byakuya left the dining hall. Master, he didn't take me with him.
Hey.
Do you blame him? What the master? The rest of you are like coffee with cream, without the cream or coffee. You're totally useless. So bye. With that, Toko trudged out of the dining hall, and now she's gone. And you're gonna go out by yourself, right? Kid?
Indeed.
That's right. Which just leaves Makeda, Hina, and me.
You know?
In that case, I'm gonna go by myself too.
just a second.
Wait, how come?
How about that?
Just wait and see. I'm gonna use my totally awesome spirit power to figure out the mastermind's identity. Laughing loudly, Hiro left the dining hall. Everyone's really gonna go off by themselves? What about you, Hina? I guess I'll do the same thing. I mean, it's not that I don't trust everyone, you know?
Because, I mean...
But up till now, I haven't really been all that useful. I just depended on Sakura and everyone else. You're not useless. If you hadn't been here, I would have died. Kodo. That's really nice of you to say. But still, I know I've been totally useless.
Okay.
So I figure at least at the end, maybe I can find something that will help us all get out of here. So I'm gonna go off and do it all on my own. Okay, see you later. Hina was in a surprisingly high spirit as she dashed out of the dining hall. And once again, it's just us two.
Indeed.
Indeed. So you're gonna go off your own too, right,
However-
Kyoko? Well, don't misunderstand. Just because we're going to do our surfacely doesn't mean we can't still do work together.
So,
That goes for all of us. I think I see what you mean. Doing our own investigating doesn't mean we can't work together in the end. I should just see it as us splitting up to cover more ground. And then we can get back together and share what we found. Yeah, that's right.
so then,
Well, I better get going. I have an endless list of things I need to check.
correct.
Monokuma said all the doors are unlocked now, right? So we should be able to investigate every nook and cranny. Nooks cranny? Animal Crossing and Danganronpa. We can visit all the places we couldn't go before.
Makoto.
Makoto, no matter what it takes, we have to uncover the truth, by any means necessary. And with that, Kyoko was gone, leaving only me. I don't have time to waste either. I have to begin my search. I still can't believe the mastermind might be one of us. So that's what I have to prove. I'll prove the mastermind isn't one of us. I'll expose the mastermind's true identity and solve the mysteries of school. And then we can all escape together. Alright, I guess I'll start by taking another look at Mukuro's Monokuma file. Alright. So, that will do it for this episode of Danganronpa. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode where we entered the final chapter, and now we have to do, the next episode we will do our final investigation, and then, after that, we'll do a final class trial. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.